Welcome back, Legacy students. So we are going to look at your first video assignment. We are going to look at literal equations and formulas. So please make sure that you have around you have your notebook. Because you're going to want your notebook. Make sure you have a writing utensil, so a pen or a pencil. And you might want a calculator, but it's more likely that you're going to not need it today. So, what are we going to actually look on in this video? So we're going to look at how to solve literal equations, and actually what is a literal equation, for a given variable using inverse operations. So, kind of what we've been doing already, but we're just going to have a lot more letters today. So what is a literal equation? You're going to want to make sure that you get these two things down. So what is a literal equation? And it is an equation with more than one variable. You see these a lot in math and in a lot of science classes. So some examples, you don't need to write these examples down, but just to be mindful of them. In chemistry, when you guys do take chemistry, you'll probably see some ideal gas laws. Density equals mass times volume, mass divided by volume, Physics has a lot of formulas also. That's used for kinetic energy. And then geometry, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And area equals 1/2 base times height. That's the area of a triangle right there. So these are very, very common. You're going to see these a lot show up. It's going to be very common in science for these. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to see what they are asking for. So in this problem, you're going to make sure you're going to want this one in your notebook. So make sure this gets down. You want to solve for r. They're asking solve for r, please. So I'm going to identify, I notice, hey, r's right here. So I'm going to make sure I circle him down. So I look and I notice that I have this 2 and then I have this pi and I have r. 2 pi looks like it's attached to r. So I'm going to think when there's two things right beside each other, I know that means I have multiplication going on. So I need to do the inverse because I need r alone. I always want r alone because that's what they want alone. So I need to make sure I get him alone too. So to break away that 2 pi, I need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 pi. So on this side, I'm going to be left with c divided by 2 pi. Nothing else. 2 is going to cancel. Pi's are going to cancel. We'll be just left with just r. So now if I noticed that I have actually solved for r. So r is alone, as you can see. So my problem's actually done. So I know that r equals c over 2 pi. This one, they want us to see x. They want us to find x this time. So I'm going to identify first, I'm going to circle x, just so I can make sure I remember where he is. So I can't remember, we need to start moving some variables around. So I'm not going to do anything with this 3/4 because remember, we're always going to add or subtract before we multiply or divide. So I have this plus b here that I gotta get rid of. So I'm going to subtract b from both sides. So I don't know what y minus b is. So I'm just going to leave that. Y minus b. And I have now 3/4 x. My b's are going to cancel out one another. So now I need to get x alone. So normally what we have done, we would have divided by 3/4, right? Because there's multiplication right here. But instead of dividing by 3/4, since it's a rational number, we are going to multiply by 4/3 on both sides. So remember, you always multiply by the reciprocal when you're dividing with rational numbers. So I have 4/3 times everything inside. So I need to do 4/3 times y minus b. So I'm going to put 4/3 times y minus b. These parentheses say 4/3 needs to go to both of them. Then I have 3/4 times 4/3 x. So I'm going to multiply this across, keep the left here the same. So I get 3 times 4, that's going to give me 12. And 4 times 3 is also going to give me 12. Now, 12 divided by 12 is just going to give me a 1. So that's going to cancel each other out. So I'm going to get 4/3 y minus b equals x. Now, they asked me to solve for x. Oh, look there. X is all alone now. So I have actually finished my problem. Exercise 3. So make sure you're getting these few down. Make sure if I don't tell you, even if you want to get them down. So I need to solve for y on this one. So I'm going to circle my term that they want. So they wanted y. So I need to get rid of whatever's not attached to y first. So I'm going to get rid of this 8x in right here. So I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, we're going to do 48 minus 8. But remember, these are not like terms. So we cannot subtract from one another. They need to stay alone. So, on this side, my 8x's are going to cancel. I'll be left with 3y. And I'm just going to actually just put these two together. So I'm going to get negative 8x plus 48. Now, need y alone, because remember, they want us to solve for y, not 3y. So I'm going to divide by 3. Y equals negative 8 divided by 3. That doesn't come out nice, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Got x. X just needs to hang out. Now, 48 divided by 3. If you use your calculator, you'll notice that you get 16. And that's actually done, because they wanted me to solve for y. Solve for y. So, this one. I need to look at, they wanted r. They want r alone. So I'm going to circle r so I can find him. Make sure I don't move him at all. So I'm going to get rid of, remember, we're going to add or subtract first. So I'm going to get rid of this plus 2x because he's being added on. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So on the left, I'm just going to get p minus 2x. That's going to equal 2 pi r. I haven't done anything to them yet. Those guys are going to cancel out. Now, still need r alone. So just like the first example we did, with the c equals 2 pi r, so these are multiplied right now. So the only way to get rid of them from that r, to get rid of them and make an inverse of multiplication, I'm going to divide by 2 pi. So I'm going to be left with on this side, because I can't do much over here. I'm just going to kind of leave this. It looks really gross and disgusting, but oops. Had a little mess up there. It's keeping you awake. 2 should have an x there, divided by 2 pi. My 2's are going to cancel. My pi's are going to cancel. And I am solved for r. So this is actually my answer. Now, this looks like very, very frustrating over here. A lot of stuff going on. But actually, that is as simple as this can be. Okay. We're going to make sure you write this, make sure you keep writing these down. We're almost done. So, right now, this is division, right? When you have a fraction bar, we're going to divide. That means to divide. So I do the opposite because I want to access the stuff up here, but I can't do anything until I get rid of him. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 12. So that's going to cancel these guys out. They're going to disappear. So I'm going to be left with AB plus 8. That's going to give me 12C. I forgot to identify what variable I'm solving for. I'm solving for A, so I need to make sure I circle about him. Otherwise I'm going to forget. So I circled my A just to make sure I know which one I'm solving for. Now, I'm going to get rid of this plus A, because remember, we're always going to add or subtract before I multiply and divide. So I'm going to get AB over here. 8's canceled out for me. 12C minus 8. Those are not like terms, so we're just going to leave them. Still just need A. So A times B right now. So I'm going to divide by B, because remember, B is just a number. We're just going to plug in a number for B once we get to that part. So I'm going to get A equals 12C minus 8 all over B. I've solved for A, and now I'm done. Now, what you're going to want to do, this is the final problem. So I would try pausing the video, and then try this one on your own first. See if you can get the same answer I'm going to get once we start. So I would try pausing and try to do this one on your own. So you just paused the video, so welcome back. So we're going to try to solve for x on this one. So I'm going to solve for x, circled my x, make sure I pay attention to him. So I need to get rid of this 8y. Can't be on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 8y from both sides. So over here, I'm going to get that 7x. He's going to stay there. These guys are going to cancel out. They're going to disappear. Because plus 8y and minus 8y is just 0 anyway. So over here, these aren't like terms. So they're just going to stay here. But we still need x alone. Can't have this 7 there. So this is 7 times x. So we need to do the inverse. Divide by 7. So I'm going to get, if I give that 7 to everybody, negative 6/7 m minus 8/7 y. Now, if you would have answered this part, same as this part, I would also accept this answer too. This is a perfect answer for this problem. So did you get it right? Hopefully you did. And that is the last problem of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.